Police departments across the country are looking less and less like the communities they serve. New reporting from the Atlantic reveals major police departments are losing black officers to retirement and are falling short when it comes to recruiting a younger generation of black officers to replace them. In cities like New York, the number of black officers in the NYPD has dropped by 14% since 2008. In Philadelphia, too, black officers in the police department have fallen by 19% just since 2017. Even DC's Metropolitan Police Department, once a model of diversity, has seen a 25% drop in black law enforcement since 1998, when 2/3 of the officers were black. Yet, in 99 of the country's 100 largest metropolitan areas, the share of white police officers exceeds the white population, according to a recent analysis of census data by ABC. At the precise moment that the country has been made aware that black people are being killed by police at horrifying rates, those same police departments are becoming increasingly less diverse. Joining me now to discuss is activist DeRay Mckesson and Cheryl Dorsey, retired LAPD Sergeant and author of a new book, The Confidence Chronicles, the greatest crime story never told. Cheryl, a report this year from the Chicago Inspector General's office found that the Chicago PD has, quote, a disproportionately high attrition rate for black candidates, especially black female applicants, which attributes to the low number of black officers hired. Black candidates are 37% of the applicant pool in Chicago, but just 18% of those invited to attend the police academy. Why is it so hard for police departments across the country, including that one we just discussed in Chicago, to recruit black officers, particularly black female officers?
Well, listen, it's not that it's so hard, it's that they don't have an appetite to do that. And don't you find it interesting that they would have a black police chief over there in David Brown, who, is feigning and pretending to want to do the right thing, yet can't figure it out? I know for a fact that any police department that wants to hire black women and black men can do so. They did it on the LAPD when I was hired in the 80s. There was a consent decree and they were forced to do it. And so maybe there needs to be a consent decree across these 18,000 police departments to get them to do the right thing. They could certainly look for qualified recruits at HBCUs. They could certainly create programs and incentives to help women sometimes who struggle with physical the inability to meet the physical requirements. They did all of that in the 80s on the LAPD. And had that program not been in effect for me, it probably would have been very difficult for me to get on. But I practiced and spent a lot of time at the academy trying to get myself prepared physically and was able to succeed. And so they could do that. They don't have an appetite. And you understand, they can find white folks. They don't have a problem recruiting KKK and white supremacists. We know this to be true. So, but for they don't want to do it, they're not gonna, unless you make them.
DeRay, what do you think is the relationship between police violence against communities of color and the lack of their ability to hold on people from those communities or recruit new ones?
So that's what's really interesting about this, is that the data is sort of fascinating, right? That there's studies that show that in departments with black officers, with more black officers, racial profiling increases and that black deaths actually increase. So this is only a problem if you believe that more black officers means safer communities for black people, but the data actually doesn't support that. There's other data that suggests that there's a tipping point. The departments with over 30% black officers, it actually does lead to some decrease. The challenge is that there are so few departments where you reach over 30% that isn't even something that we think about as a scalable change to happen in departments. So this actually might be a good thing. This might be black officers being like, or black people being like, I'm not going to participate in this system that actually harms my community. I'm not going to be one of those people that harms the community. And what the research shows is this idea that the conformity, the need to conform, that police departments sort of take well-meaning black people and they become a part of a bad system. And that's why you get an increase in racial profiling and an increase in black death. I mean, look at this year, over 780 people killed by the police. There've only been 10 days where the police have not killed somebody this year alone.
But DeRay, I mean, I just want to ask this though. of the places that we were discussing, particularly in the intro, some are majority black, some others are, very large, like Chicago, very large black population. In cities like that, just reflecting the population in terms of, the percentages on the police force would put you over your 30% mark. Don't you think that can't be a good thing, right? That they lose black populations in these very black cities.
Well, not my 30% mark. I wasn't the researcher, but here's the thing is that this is only a challenge if you believe that more black officers means safer communities for black people. And that is an anecdotal and emotional thing. The research does not support that. But the research is sort of suggestive that black officers actually participate in the same harm and the same damage as all the other officers. So maybe we should be having a conversation about increased accountability for officers. Chicago is a great example of a department where police can do pretty much anything, and the contract in the mayor's office sort of allow them to get away with it. Baltimore, New York City, the biggest police departments are the ones that have the most incredible protections that allow the police of all races to harm people with no consequence. It just is an anecdotal and emotional belief that there is some deep correlation with race.
Cheryl, according to a Gallup poll in 2020, just 19% of black adults had confidence in police, a number that rebounded a little bit in 2021, but is still at a very bad 27%. How do we get the black population to have more confidence in the police force, particularly as this study shows it'll look less and less like them?
Well, part of the problem is that we've got to be on the police department. And so let me just say this, you can skew statistics to say whatever it is that you wanted to say. And so I can speak from my lived experiences with regards to having more blacks. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's more blacks out there killing and shooting folks. That's not what we see. And that's not what I experienced in my 20 years work of patrol on the second largest metropolitan police department in the nation. And so it would be nice if you had someone who looked like me outside of a Tatiana Jefferson's home, or standing on the curbside when Derek Chauvin was kneeling on George Floyd. It's imperative that we have conversations with our young people, and we need to start very early to change the mindset. They want us to not apply. They want us to not be on these departments. On the LAPD, we're 9% black. Black folks are not even in the feeder pool.
Right.
Police officers, ground pounders, to be able to ascend to positions of authority where you can have an affirmative impact as a patrol sergeant, which I was. And so it's
Sure, let me just interrupt though. Just give me a chance to ask this question though. When Eric Garner was choked to death on the street, pretty much just like George Floyd, there were black police officers there. And they did intervene. Just using the anecdotes as you were just describing.
It can absolutely happen. There was a black officer present when Freddie Gray was, transported and I believe killed in the back of that van. And so it can happen. For me, I think it's important that we have police officers, no matter the color, who can relate to the community, who can understand the folks that they protect and serve, who aren't drunk with power. And then at the end of the day, when someone shows you who they are, we need to believe them and they need to be held accountable. And so we need to deal with qualified immunity. Here in California, we just had a senator pass legislation that was signed by Gavin Newsom that will decertify police officers who are found guilty of serious misconduct. We have over 600 police officers in the state of California who are convicted criminals. How is that allowed to go on?
Yeah, the only thing I'd say, Cheryl, with all due respect, is that the police department that you were a part of killed more people than any police department in the United States. So when I think about this, I'm reminded that the harm that the police inflict on communities, regardless of race, is just immense. And California is a great example of a state that has a law that says that any investigation of an officer that lasts more than a year can never result in discipline, regardless of the outcome. That until we deal with those, regardless of race, there won't be change in communities. That this is a fundamental conversation about how do we reduce the scope and the footprint of people with guns as the response to all trauma in communities.
And that has
Cheryl
to do with the
Dorsey and
police
DeRay
officers'
Mckesson.
Bill of Rights. Huh? No, I'm saying
I was just saying, Cheryl, we have to go. I'm sorry about that, Cheryl.
Okay,
Cheryl
no
Dorsey and DeRay Mckesson. But we'll have to continue this conversation on another day. But thank you guys both for tonight. We ran out of time. More Prime after the break.